Everything's great, Tim. Not just good. Everything's great. How are you today, Tim?
I am very well.
Good. Good.
We've reached the point in time where the sun is out consistently. We're in the 50s and 60s.
Yes, weather is nice.
Here in Indiana.
Well, let's see if it stays like this.
Oh, hopefully.
It could be 60 and then snow the next day.
True, but like this is the first time all year we've had like 3 consecutive days.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
So.
And you're golfing all week.
I am.
Like every day this week.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So time management skills are in hyperdrive right now because when I spend 4 hours on a golf course, that means I gotta maximize the other 20 hours of the day.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
And sleep.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. 25th hour.
Yeah.
You working on anything specific in your golf game right now? Like, are you like practicing on anything, trying to improve on anything?
I would say, I would say short game right now, like chipping and putting around the green. Been doing that. Like there will be times where I'll go out to the golf course and I'll just only work on that. Like I won't play or hit full swings, but yeah, whatever I can do to get outside, man, and just go to different places. I think that's the biggest thing for me. And I always like visiting the different clubs throughout Indianapolis and meeting people there. You just meet interesting people at a golf course. That's what I've always found.
What's the best one around here?
Best one? I'd say Prairie View up in Carmel is a nice golf course.
Okay.
I'd say the Fort Golf Resort.
What's your favorite?
My favorite? I would say the Trophy Club up in Lebanon. It's not even in Indy. It's like the northwest of Indianapolis. Yeah, it's kind of like a remote spot, but it's like on not much going on around there. So yeah.
Bird was trying to come inside our window.
Yeah. Wants to be a guest on the show.
Well, people just got like the 3 best golf courses.
Yeah. But honestly, the thing about Indy is there's 20 to 30 around here that are
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of golf courses.
You can cycle through.
Yeah.
You definitely don't get bored.
I play my best golf at Topgolf. Like I had fun on the course. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Some people's bodies aren't meant to do certain things. I don't think I was meant to golf.
I don't know, man. There's still hope for you.
There's still hope for you.
There's a lot of people who it's one of those sports you can pick it up at any point in time. Like I know people that will start playing it in their 50s. I know some people that played it in their 20s and then they took off like 10, 20 years and started again.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. Like, I would like it. It's just, that's not my priority.
Yeah, you got to find your thing.
But I would like to get better, especially at my drive. My drive sucks. It's terrible. I don't know. I think you and I just need to go. We've talked about it. We need to go and just have you learn me some things and then see if we can increase some yardage with some new breathing techniques. We haven't done it. That'd be a great
case study.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Yep.
I think we could get you some distance like within an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's things you would pick up quick. Like you're an athlete, you understand like your body and stuff. Like you understand how to make it move. So yeah, within an hour.
Okay.
Much less than an hour.
Holding you to that.
I'm just gonna say within an hour. I think we could get 5 to 10 yards.
Yeah. Okay. What are some of the things that you're working on right now in whether it's in CrossFit or anything anything from a physical standpoint you're working on?
I'd say nutritionally, I'm going more towards Whole30 right now. So just to see what happens, like get rid of like my grains and stuff because I eat a lot of rice, but I think some things are messing with me and I don't know what it is. But so I'm slowly cutting out like rice. I don't really drink, but like I've had a couple drinks visiting my folks, stuff like that. That's when I have a cocktail. But yeah, I'm cutting that out. That's pretty easy. I do have some things where there's extra sugar or added sugar. So I do have to be mindful of that. So I got to decide if like protein powder, if that's going to count. Like it would, I think. There's an added sugar to it. Yeah. But I might let certain things, like I might try a different one and see if I can get one with 0 sugar just for like 30 days and see what happens. But yeah, that's what I'm doing food-wise. Still eating a ton, about 3,000 calories on my good days. Yeah, so...
And you think, is there like a goal out of this? Like, switch more whole to, like, you're trying, is it for physical performance?
Yeah, I've been having, like post-nasal drip for a few years. Like, I can always suck up mucus out of my throat and, like, spit. It's pretty annoying. I've had it for a few years. And now my concern is that is a type of chronic inflammation, which you do not want in your body. Just chronic inflammation. Not that I'm overly concerned right now. Like, doesn't keep me up at night, but it's one of those things, it shouldn't be happening, so I need to figure out why. And I might do some blood labs soon just to do them anyway, see if anything else is off, like any vitamin or mineral deficiencies. But workout-wise, I'm working on my squat snatch. That is the weakest lift I have, is my snatch and squat snatch. So if you're not familiar with Olympic lifting, full squat snatch, Olympic lifters will just call it the snatch. We will do things from the hang at our gym, so we will identify, like, if we're doing hang, power, or squat in that particular movement. But you take it from the ground, it's one fluid movement, you come up with it, it's almost like a deadlift you launch the barbell off your hips, you get it up overhead, and you drop under it, and you catch it overhead in a deep squat, and then stand up with it. So it's like, imagine an overhead squat, but you're starting from the ground, throwing it up over your head, catching it in your deep squat, and then standing up. Very technical movement, a lot of moving parts, but yeah, that's the weakest thing in my routine, I guess, if you will, in terms of movements and exercises. That and muscle ups. I can do muscle ups, but not like strung together, not when I'm fatigued. So those are my top two things that I'm working on now. But other than that, we'll have Murph prep coming up. Murph is in May, so we'll start getting ready for that soon.
Nice. Yeah, 2 months coming up.
It's just like, I like to practice things, not all the time. Like squat snatch, I don't like practicing, but I need to because we do it. And it's just a very athletic move. I want to be able to do all the things. So yeah, I'll hit it hard 3 or 4 days a week, and then have 2-ish casual days. I'll do some bodybuilding movements. I'll do no lifting, all mobility some days. So yeah, I love my days off too.
Good.
Yeah. But yeah. Try to see what else is going on.
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, F1 is back on Netflix. I'm already done with the new episodes.
Nice.
But it's from last season, and I watched the whole season, so I kind of knew what went on, but they have the dramatic parts. There's people trying to screw other people over and anything to get a point, but they're there to win. So, but it's fun. I really think that show put F1 on the map for a lot of people. It definitely made me enjoy it more, but I do enjoy racing, going fast. It could be boat racing. I just like that.
Besides Lewis Hamilton, who are like the personalities in the face of the sport that people talk about?
Well, Max Verstappen.
Okay.
He won the world championship last year.
Okay.
He's who I root for.
Yeah.
Not that I dislike Lewis. I dislike some things he does sometimes. Of course, that's across the grid. But I'm just a Verstappen fan. My family's also part Dutch.
Okay.
So I root for the Dutchman.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal driver. He's unbelievable. He's very aggressive, which a lot of drivers don't like. He is extremely aggressive. Like, he will get in there and try to make a move if he think he has one.
Okay.
But Lewis Hamilton is also aggressive. We'll call Verstappen unsafe. But it's like, look, man, you're all going hundreds of miles an hour on tight corners. It's not safe. It's an aggressive sport. You're not trying to hurt people.
This is what you sign up for.
But you drive aggressively. You all drive aggressively, or you don't advance. But it's fun to watch, man. It's fun to see team dynamics. There's some characters like Danny Ricciardo. He's an Australian. He's a really funny guy. Pierre Gasly, as part of Red Bull, but that's AlphaTauri. So he's he's a great driver. Drove for Red Bull for a while. They let him go. They dropped him down to AlphaTauri, and yeah, great driver. So there's a lot of people. It's going to be fun to watch.
Okay, good.
But that's back. I finished Animal Kingdom. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I have not. No.
It's a family that commits like a bunch of heists.
Okay.
But what was funny is, I think I wrote the list in my phone. You know, you have like the TV ratings, and this had like the TV like 13 or whatever, but it has the rating. So I'm like, okay, 13, kind of odd. I would think this is a mature audience. The Robin like places. Then it has the list of why it's rated that, and so it was 13 plus. Said the contents that followed: alcohol use, foul language, nudity, sexual content, smoking, substance abuse, and violence. So if you're 13 years old and up, you are good to go on all those things. It wasn't TVMA, it was 13 plus.
But you said it's a family that's committing the heist, so it's a family show.
Oh, you're right, it's a family.
13,
yeah, watch it with the
13
kids.
and up.
Fuck out of here. I was like 13 and up, and I don't know what they left out.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing that gets worse is, like, Peaky Blinders.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah, that was funny.
I mean, but what are 13-year-olds like not already seeing on social media? That's probably what. Like,
that's true. Also twisted.
Probably see like way worse on there. Anyway.
Also twisted. Like at 13, they have the whole world at their fingertips.
Yeah, it's like I feel like ratings. I feel like ratings are out the window at this point.
Yeah, right. And like that's a good point. There are so many things that 13-year-olds shouldn't see when they're 13.
Right.
Like I didn't know at 13 what today kids know at 13.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw this post. It was great. It was said humans weren't meant to know everything happening in the world at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
It makes sense. We shouldn't know everything that's always going on all the time, 24/7, 365.
And who are the people that determine the ratings of the shows? It's like a board, a collection of people that just make these decisions.
I don't know. I would think it just goes on views.
Yeah.
Like if you have high views, then it's a certain rating or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like a group of like 5 people, like, oh, like 13-year-olds can't see this. Is it? Yeah, opinion. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah, that is.
But anyway, what's up? What else is going on in the life of Tim?
Yeah, I just had like one quick business update, like because I obviously offer resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn services, but one thing that a lot of people have been approaching me about lately is professional portfolios, like kind of a collection or a merging of different documents to kind of present all there is about someone. So I've actually been offering that service recently and going to kind of add it to my portfolio services. It'll probably be a small percentage of what I offer. Like I say, one out of every 100 people will approach me about that. But maybe something I can market more on my website and just like obviously like.
Like what are you gonna like be making or creating?
Yeah, like so obviously I do resumes for people, but that's just such a small part of the picture for someone. Like obviously people use resumes to apply for jobs, but I mean a portfolio is a collection of documents. So like awards, like performance reviews, like data sheets, like one pagers, like different like documents that people have created over their career, assembled into like one like long PDF of like things.
So like, will you kind of like tie it all together in one piece? Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a new written work.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
But it doesn't really require too much like extra content creation. It's more of like an assembling of documents together.
Okay.
Like for example, maybe you gave like a presentation for work or something, and it's like a 10-slide presentation. Those 10 slides would be something that you could kind of merge into a PDF just to show. And obviously you got to like organize it, provide context on what things are, and like present it in a way that when you deliver your professional portfolio to someone else, like they can get a good snapshot of you and read through it pretty easily. So like that's the goal with that. And yeah, something I obviously never would have thought about offering until people asked me about it. Because I have people that are going for like awards that require portfolios or different stuff like that. But yeah, and cool. It puts things into perspective. Like there's more to someone than just a resume. Because like obviously the resume it showcases your accomplishments at a high level and shows what you've done. But if you really want to go into detail and show proof behind those bullet points you're typing out in a resume, like professional portfolio is a good way to kind of showcase that. So
is that a pretty common thing?
I obviously I never thought about it, but more and more
like 1 every 100 people ask you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that would be a thing.
No, it's something that like
I can understand if you're going for marketing and someone's like, hey, send me a press release you did or a brochure you've made.
Well, it's just something that you can like another piece of ammo that you can use. Like if you have an interview and then you want to send that after the fact, or like maybe eventually you're gonna like start a consulting firm or start a business and you want to, and you're trying to get investors to come on board. Like a professional portfolio is an even more robust thing because the resume is in the portfolio. So like obviously you can just send a resume, but I think the portfolio, I mean, it paints like a bigger picture of like examples of your work and what people can expect from you. And
you can attach that side by side with the resume.
Yeah, because obviously I'm not saying people do this, but I mean you can put anything on a resume. You can make claims about stuff, but I think portfolio just gives people extra proof about you. So it's kind of how I look at it. But.
And seems like it would help because is it still resumes? We might have talked about this. Still 1 page? Is that a standard resume? You don't want to go past 1 page?
Yeah, it depends on how much experience you have. Like if you're like a C-level executive that has like
a little closer, just a little bit. Yeah.
If you're like a C-level executive that has like 15 to 20 years of experience at least under your belt, like that'll be a 2-page resume. But when I work with like recent college graduates or people that have like 5 to 10 years tops, I mean, there's things you can do to make the resume 1 page.
Yeah.
And there's things like there's experiences that you can choose to expand upon, and then there's experiences where you can just list on there to show that you did it. Depending on like what you're going for in the future, there's different things to orient the information. So.
And like that portfolio can help keep that at 1 page too. If it's like there's something they really want to talk about or have on there, you can say, hey, we'll put that on in the portfolio, but for the resume, that's what they're for sure going to look at. Put the hard hitters on the resume.
Right.
And if they skip the portfolio, then it's not like they missed the most important things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be interested to look at one after you finish one.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I've not seen something like that.
Yeah. It's a new process for me too. Them, but yeah.
Now with stuff like that, are you going to like create a template or a few templates that people can buy off the website?
Yeah, I'm thinking of creating like a template that like cover page templates for it, as well as like table of contents, and then obviously like it's tough to just like follow a template for a professional portfolio because you're merging different document types into one. Like you're merging like Excel sheets, you're merging. So it's kind of like it's like a bunch of puzzle pieces on the floor and you just gotta like kind of put it together.
Okay.
So there's like different parts of the portfolio you can make a template for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting what people will ask for and what services you have to add and create to add to the business.
Yeah, and you got to be adaptable, right? Like Mike Reynolds talked about on our show, like you have to listen to what your clients want. And obviously Nick Carter said you can't just innovate things internally just to innovate them. Like you have to like listen to what people outside of your business are asking you for. So
right. Yeah.
It's kind of what because like I understand like at some point like I don't know how long resumes are going to be around for or like how effective they'll be forever, but like you just have to be adaptable and you have to have like different routes to go if things become out of style. I don't see that happening anytime soon, but I mean who knows like what the future holds for all that.
Yeah, I think you do a type of coaching. And when a few years ago I did a weekend up in Chicago, Andy Galpin was hosted by our friend Dr. Bob, and he made a good point. He goes, they're going to automate a lot of different things. Like they're automating stuff like you can do in a work environment, things like that. But his point was coaching, like that high touch sort of role, you can't make robotic. It's like, yeah, you can make a calculator for your macronutrients, but you can't really make a coach robot of nutrition and training and watching a movement and saying this is where you're doing this and that. Like, sure, you can use computers and video, but there's, I think, always going to be a place for that high touch coaching role,
right?
Where it's you use software to help with your resume writing, but at the end of the day, you have human experience and know how to tailor to each person,
right?
Where you can't just teach AI to do that.
Yeah,
they don't know human condition,
right?
So I think that's going to be around for a really long time.
Yeah, and the coaching thing's important too, because you have the world that's constantly changing, but you have to give people the tools to embrace for that change. So that goes back to you as a coach studying what's going on, so that you know what's going on, so that you can educate people on what's going on, and then give them the tools, the skills, the documents, like anything they need to brace for that change.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's funny you bring up adding a new service. I had a guy approach me about like training for breath work. I do a lot of nasal breathing training for myself, and it's been kind of a hot topic lately. People asking me about it. I've been posting about it, and so I'm having a consultation with that. I think we're going to look at his knee too for some rehab, but he's very interested in how to breathe, how to train with that, how to breathe while he's training, and so now I'm going to work on a breathing for performance program that I think I'm eventually going to run a field study in the next few months.
Okay.
I'm going to get a few people involved to help me run it. Good friend of mine, she has a friend who has studied with Wim Hof. So I want him in on this. He can bring some things that will go way above my pay grade. And I'll probably have a couple other coaches that I have in mind to help find me athletes. I'm thinking 20 to 30 people, and I'm going to run a 30 to 45 day thing where they're doing something every day. So they have to be people like you have access to a gym every day. You will like be able to do the things, and do the same workout start of day 1 and day 30 or 45, whatever it is, first and last day. Do a test and retest the same exact workout. And see what happens to times and how people feel with their body's overall stress.
Yeah.
And it's a quick turnaround, but I don't want some 2-3 month thing. I don't need that. There's a lot that can be done in a shorter amount of time, but I think that would also help my street cred. If I come out and publish something like that of, hey, these are the people that worked with me on this, these were our findings, this was the protocol, and I won't give away like every single day. But I think that would be something I would also add to my website and sell that too.
Yeah.
Not that everyone will adapt to that the same, but I can make a general thing.
Right.
So, yeah, working on that, but finishing the CrossFit prehab program for April. It was going to be for March. The website set me back a few weeks.
Okay.
So, but it's
good.
It's close. Yeah. It's like a lot of active range of motion. Not just static stretching. I'll throw some yoga movements in there and things. We'll do tests and retests in terms of mobility in certain zones and areas of the body. Yeah, I'm thinking 8 classes, 30-minute classes twice a week, running at the gym. And so, yeah, should be ready to go by April. I just have to finish a few more exercises and just try it out myself. So I can time it out well. But yeah, it's
is it going to be one of those things where like you will open it for like a certain amount of people and try it out?
Yeah, I'll
or do you think like you're just going to launch it?
No, I'll like do it at the gym with our members and have them pay like a certain amount. And then they do like barbell clubs and stuff like that. So Kyle and Monica have told me like, hey, if you want to do anything like that, let us know. We'll help you run it. And I'd imagine maybe 10 to 15 people would sign up for it. That'd be the hope, at least. I don't know what I would charge, but that's close. I know people want something like that, though. Where I can throw some rehab, some prehab, some yoga movements in there. Not that I'm a yoga instructor, but simple stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Up in services.
Good. I love it.
Content, man. It's always just got to create more stuff, it feels like. But that is super useful.
Right.
All right. What kind of tips? Any tips? Just a tip, Tim.
Yeah. Just for today.
Business interview tip.
Yeah. For today, I'm gonna talk about like interview tip, and the importance of like thank you cards and like thank you emails after interviews. And I know this is kind of like we've this is not a novel concept. Like we've heard this multiple times, and it's something that people use, but I think doing it the right way is key. So obviously, like after any interview you have, like you want to separate yourself by at least sending a message, and this takes like less than 5 minutes to do, but could have like a huge impact like in the long run of you doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just gonna run you through like the things to say in a thank you card, because like whether you handwrite it or email it, like you want to be memorable in the person's eyes that you spoke with. So the first thing you want to do is obviously thank the interviewer for their time. I mean, they're busy people, so they gave up time to talk to you about their company. So thank you for their time. And then the next thing is cite like a specific highlight from the conversation, whether it's something you enjoyed about their office, something you enjoyed about the conversation, like a specific topic you talked about, whether it's something that they shared that the company's doing, like anything that was specific about your conversation with them that most likely no one else had a conversation with them about, cite that. And the next thing is explain why you're a good fit for the role. Don't like oversell yourself in a thank you card, but like mention like one sentence, like, hey, I think this skill is going to serve me well in this role because, and like just give like a quick sentence. So cite a specific highlight from the conversation, explain why you're a good fit, and then lastly, explain why you're excited for the opportunity to potentially work for the company. So explain like not only why you'd be a good fit for their company culture in the previous sentence, but explain like a specific thing about maybe their current work culture or a project they're working on or the employees, or like cite something about the company that you're excited for, and why you want to do that. So just to recap, like thank you for their time, cite a specific highlight from the conversation or topic, and then briefly explain why you're a good fit for the role, and then explain why you're excited to potentially work for the company. And I think that's a simple, like less than 5 minute process that you do that over and over, like they'll at least, like, even if you don't get the job, they're at least going to keep you in mind for future jobs by staying relevant, staying memorable in their mind. So thank you cards.
Well, we've done our fair share of thank you cards and things like that. It's people still like that. It's handwritten. It's not typed. Like, it took time and effort. But I like citing a highlight from the conversation, because then they know like you were listening, you retained it, like you were really present, and just kind of reaffirms like, oh, they were in that conversation, they were all about it. So I like it. And so you're saying to tell people, hey, hire me on the shit. Yeah, exactly. Sell yourself extra.
And it sends the subliminal message to them that like you want to work for them. Like you didn't, on your end, like you didn't go to the interview and like not want to work for them afterward. Like by taking the time to send that, like you're showing them that you're still interested even after learning more about the company.
And if that interview went well, like you're at the top of the list. Like those things matter.
And that's another small like complimentary service I provide to my resume writing clients, is I give them a thank you letter template. Not like every time, but like if they ask for it, like I'll give that to them.
Nice.
Sorry, I won't charge any extra for that.
You put that up for free on your website.
Templates.
Have a few free things, few paid things. Just Tim making templates over here. How many Canva artwork pieces did you pass? Thousands?
Yeah.
What was they gave you an award?
Yeah, I think it was Canva. Like 500 plus. But
500 plus.
It's been way more than that. I know for a fact it's been more. The amount of times I've opened Canva and used it and created a template, like I've helped over 750 people in the last 2 years. So, I mean, I got on for each time of those. Plus, like all the things I make for our show, and
Unless I'm not counting like reusing templates. Because I forget what they gave me. Maybe it was 100 And I was like, that's it.
Yeah, it seems like
I reuse some quite a bit, so maybe those don't get counted. Which is like, I don't know, we're still using your stuff.
Canva is like,
count it,
literally my best friend. Yeah.
Damn. You're gonna disappoint a lot of people that listen to the show.
There was one time it wasn't working, like the website was down.
Canva?
And I just felt like so betrayed. I'm like, what are you doing? We've been friends for so long.
Who are you stepping out on me with?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I need to create this invoice so I can bill this client. Let me access the site.
Is there another website like Canva?
Yeah, Adobe has a program called Adobe Spark. It's like the same thing, but it's like under their umbrella of products. But yeah, I'm sure there's several.
I've thought about trying to learn Adobe, but that stuff's intense.
Dude,
that's in depth work.
Yeah. The reason why I think Canva's always going to be king though is like, whatever your opinion is, because they have a template for everything. Like,
yeah.
It's not like it. I'd say not only is the interface easy to use, like if you had to know how to work on basic computer, like you can navigate Canva, but they have like something for everything. Like they have like infographic templates, invoice templates, just about everything.
Yeah.
Anything you want to create, they have it made for you on there.
And they're good looking templates too.
Yeah. And like they're easy to. I mean, if you like the general idea of a template, you can use a template and then you can take things out from it, add it in, like
that's nice. Own. Yeah, you can make yourself look
change the colors,
straight up graphic designer. Some of the
for real
things on it. Yeah,
it's great.
I was going to kind of talked on it earlier, but for tips, just run through why nasal breathing is so important, and why I think people should train with it. You know, you will hit a certain point of exertion where you have to breathe out of your mouth too, but so. When we breathe out of our mouth, we release carbon dioxide. I think we all remember from science class in middle school, like breathing out carbon dioxide. Oh, it's good for the trees. I think that's what it was. But for our bodies to actually utilize oxygen and have it go to certain areas, muscle tissues, things like that, oxygen has to be released from hemoglobin. So carbon dioxide is responsible for that release. Then that oxygen can go to muscles, wherever it needs to go throughout the body. Like on an average at rest, we're like 95 to 99% capacity filled with oxygen, but it's not like it's being utilized in those ways. So when we breathe through our nose, we have, we're actually getting more CO2, we can retain more, and that allows oxygen to be released and used. So when we exhale so much out of our mouths, we're losing a lot of CO2, and now we're not utilizing as much oxygen as we possibly can. So in a sense of training, you know, I will take people through progressions, and so like for me now, I try to, my mark is 5 to 6 minutes on something like an assault bike at 10 calories per minute or better, all nasal breathing. And I've worked up to that, but now my body can handle a lot more stress. I have a lot more oxygen, and I can go harder for longer in whatever scenario. My body can just handle more because it knows how to utilize true oxygen. So like if you get the post-workout headache, you're probably just huffing and puffing out of your mouth. You're losing oxygen.
Right.
And now your head hurts, you get lightheaded, you're dizzy. That's part of why that happens. Hydration as well. But when, you know, it can be out of the gym too. If your body is able to just handle more stress, you're in some high stress environment, you know, you just close your mouth, you breathe through your nose, slow your heart rate down, and you can handle more stress. So you can use it a multitude of ways. But I'm specifically working with it in terms of training and my stamina and what I can take and how I can finish certain workouts and not feel like I had to redline it. It's exponentially different. It's massive progress.
Good.
And I'd say in the last 6 months. So, you know, if you're not eating or talking, you know, just practice like breathing through your nose. If you're working for a couple hours, shut your mouth.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if there's a good time of the day to do it. Is there a better time of the day, or like
anytime you're not breathing or talking?
Okay.
Yeah. So
what it like right before and right after a workout is it good to do it before or after?
I say if you're really gonna try to work on it,
you should do it when you're at the most
probably before if you want to try it then, because a lot of times people do get the sensation that they don't have enough air.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is it's gonna happen. You're not used to not breathing with your mouth,
mm-hmm.
and not that you are only going to breathe through your nose forever. There's a certain point, like you just have to breathe with your mouth too.
Mm-hmm.
But then I try to, in certain movements, all right, where can I get a longer inhale and a quicker exhale where I don't release as much?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't breathe out as much, but I get a good inhale, quick exhale on when I need the power of that movement, call it a kettlebell swing. If I launch it off my hips, I exhale then off the launch. And then as it's coming back down all the way through, I'm inhale, 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 quick exhale as I launch. So I keep inhaling more than I exhale. And my body is using that CO2 to help release more oxygen. And now my body can keep on going
mm-hmm.
With less fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
And I can keep hitting it hard, and my endurance is it's there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I've been using it. I have some people interested in wanting to work with me with that. So hence the kind of the plan I'm making.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, man, whatever the sport, it's crazy the amount of progress you can make. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The more you're breathing through your nose, the more stress you can handle, the calmer you are. And what is sports? Sports is staying calm.
Yeah.
As calm as you can all the time.
Yeah.
Tense lower body, loose upper body, every single sport.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Appreciate you explaining that.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I can nerd out on some awesome breathing. It's so fun for me.
Yeah.
Like it's even in golf. Like it could help in golf. So just think about playing golf. Play a few holes.
Mm-hmm.
Just nasal breathing.
Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
with meditation, is there a certain way that people should breathe during meditation?
Depends on the type of meditation. There's a lot of different types.
Okay, well, someone who's trying to get into just general meditation, who has never started before but wants to do it. What kind of
I would say do a simple type of box breathing, like 3-second inhale, 1-second hold, 3-second exhale. It just slows down your breathing. Very simple way to just slow things down.
And should you be focused on breathing when you're meditating?
100%.
Okay.
100%. Yeah, because when you're focused on things like that, then you also, this is bad for me, but all the thoughts of life creeping in. When you're focused on how you're breathing, you're actually counting and you're thinking, okay, block out the noise, I'm breathing here, I'm here. Then you get less of the noise.
Right.
But yeah, you should 100% think about the way you breathe. I mean, every day we eat, sleep, drink, breathe, and move, so we should think very consciously how we do all of those things. And yeah, it's a lot to think about. I have to think about how I walk, how I exercise, all the ways I move. Yeah, but that's how we reduce chronic pains. And I've learned to live with it. No, that's bullshit. Figure out why your head hurts. But yeah, so breathing for stability, breathing for meditation. Yeah, so there's fire breathing too. There's different ways to increase stress levels, like quick breathe, and you can really ramp yourself up. So yeah, it depends on the meditation, depends on the environment. You can use, if you're in traffic and you're pissed off about it.
Dude, that would be the perfect time.
You can calm yourself down with that.
Yeah.
If you're trying to train that day and you're just you feel overworked, you're a little tired, you can, breathe a certain way where it's like a pre-workout, where it juices you up because you increase stress in the body, just by a different way of breathing.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, we can do so many things, but yeah.
Bet.
Betlin. Book talk? Gonna get down.
Yeah, book talk.
Nerdy with it.
Me or you first?
Dude, I feel like I just talked a lot. You go.
Okay, yeah. You take a breathing break, okay?
Is this
correct,
Tim?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about You Incorporated today by Harry Beckwith, one of my favorites. And I saw something in my notes from it. This is a direct quote from the book that really stuck out to me, and think something that I can continue to get better at as I meet new people and try to secure more clients and try to build rapport with people who I've never met before in my entire life, and they're trusting me to do a huge project for them, where it said, others will regard you in direct proportion to how you appear to regard them. So it's pretty much saying, like, treat others how you want to be treated, and it's kind of like a tit for tat thing. Like, if you treat people nicely, they're going to treat you nicely back.
Right.
So when you talk with people for the first time, you should radiate as much positive energy as you can, not only in the way you talk to them, but the way you listen to them. Mm-hmm. Like, you should be excited, and not only should you be excited and radiate that positive energy, but have like really good attention to detail to them talking to you. Like, pick up on things they talk about, ask specific, like if they mention a specific detail, hammer more at that detail and ask more about that detail, and continue, because like the more specific, unique questions you ask to someone, the more it sends the message to them that you're listening, that you care. And when you radiate that positive energy as well, like whether they see your facial expressions, or you're talking with someone over the phone and they hear your pitch changes in your voice, like it's going to naturally reflect in them. So
yeah,
that's why, like, I think that's a huge asset for me in my resume writing business, is how much of positive energy I bring to the call and how excited I am to talk about what I do, because people comment on that as to why they chose me over other people. So I think that's a big thing that you can do to really gain like goodwill from people. And I will say this, like, it's not going to work on everybody. Like there's going to be some people who they may not return the favor to you. Like, this is within not only a resume writing consulting capacity, but just like new relationships in general. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you right now, spoiler alert, not everybody's going to return the favor to you when you're nice to them, or when you do nice things for people. You take time, like they may not always return the favor, and
they might not even think about it.
Right. And that's okay. Like, you never want to take that personal, and you want to have a reason for doing the things you do. So like have a why behind what you're doing without expecting anything in return. And if people are gonna bring negative energy back to you, it's never gonna be a reflection on you. It's more of something that person's going through, like an obstacle they're hurdling in their own life. So whenever I hear people talk bad about me, or if people don't like me as much.
Who's talking bad about you, Tim?
I don't know. I'm not listening to names. Okay. But I always have empathy for those people. Yeah. Like at all times. Like, I hope that they can find happiness in their own life to because like I just found, like, at points in my life, like if things are going well, like if you're successful at what you do, like you don't have the time or the energy to talk bad about other people, right, or like get negative energy out of people. So
yeah, and I'm sure you've seen it. Like, the quote floats around, whoever initially started it, somebody, but no one who's doing more than you is ever going to criticize you. Mm-hmm. So if people are, oh, that's stupid, you shouldn't do that, you should be doing this, they're doing less. They already lost, right, by opening their mouth. They lost. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you feel for that. It's like, man, just get yourself unstuck. Like, it's not that easy, but do something. Mm-hmm. Instead of worrying about what everyone else is doing, like, go get that bread, boo-boo. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But no, you make a good point, because like, people feel energy, and if you're really into that conversation, mm-hmm, and maybe some don't, but a lot of people, they can tell if you care. Mm-hmm. Like, does this person really care, or are they just kind of going through the motion and mm-hmm, hoping to get paid? Yeah. Like, you love what you do, so people hear you talk about how you do it, and it's fun for you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and it's exciting to hear that people hear that, mm-hmm, when you talk. When it's like, hey, I went with you because you were excited about it. Mm-hmm. Like, well, fuck yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what's going to keep happening to those people that don't get as jazzed up to talk about
right.
it. They get passed on.
Exactly.
So, like, yeah, it's
It all goes down to making the other person feel important. If you're not enthusiastic to be there, it's going to send the message subliminally that you would rather be doing something else.
Yeah. And I like how you said to ask specific questions. Like, oh, hey, what do you do? Oh, okay, that's cool. It's like, no, ask them how they got into it. Do they like it?
What do you enjoy most about what you do?
Yeah. One of my favorite questions is when I find out what someone does for work, do you like it? No one gets asked that. And so then half the time they, oh, well, then it's like, then you have a different conversation. It's like, all right, well, what would you rather be doing?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought about it. I was like,
that second question you just asked, that opens up a whole new door of possibilities for a conversation. What would you rather be doing? What's something that you would want to do in your next venture that your current one doesn't provide you right now? Like that will literally, that opens the floodgates for a whole new conversation.
And it's just like, I asked if you like your job.
Yeah.
If yes, fine, sweet, dude, that's awesome. How'd you get into it?
Yeah.
But yes, more than just what we call the rush questions. In college, you're rushing kids. It's like, hey, where are you from? What's your major?
What's your hometown?
Cool. What's your hometown? Like, you're gonna know half the towns people fucking say. No, that's, dude, good stuff. Thanks for bringing those up. Yeah. How you appear to regard them. I like that a lot.
Yeah. You got some biblical talk today?
Dude, yes. We're getting in the Bible. So my devotional was called Safe to Build On. And I'm bringing this up because it just seemed very relevant with the times and what's going on in the world. And Safe to Build On, it talks about having a foundation that you create for yourself. So in this sense, yes, it is religious. This is God being the foundation. If you're like, well, I don't believe in God, but there's some spirit, higher power, whatever it is for you. But like, people denied Jesus for years and made alliances with enemies who promised them things and valuables, their vices, right? Promised them. It's like, what was it? Xerxes, he promised women and jewels and all this, and the Spartans still wouldn't bow down to him. Maybe I'm watching too much 300, but I think that's how.
That's a good example.
But I mean, same thing happens in our lives, like, and not that I'm trying to say, oh, get it or don't, but we were offering free beer and donuts and names and lotteries for people to get a vaccination. It's like we're promising stuff and putting things on pedestals. And again, like, I get it or don't, like, whatever, I don't care. But they don't have a better foundation. When we can be that bought easily, be bought that easily, it's like a free donut got your rocks off like that easily. Like, that's what we sold out for. And it is like, it is what it is. But the sense of making sure you are rock solid, like, we're talking about people who, if they're doing less than you, they're criticizing. Like, okay, that's a them thing. Something's not right in their foundation. They're not enjoying their life in some capacity, or what they're doing, or don't know how to change it, and now it's just fire away at other people. They lost that foundation. And I've been in some spots in life where faith was the last thing I turned to, and it should have been the first. And we look at today, like, especially politics, we're being promised certain things, sold certain things, and it's like no one is talking about believing in something higher than ourselves.
Right.
And we lose touch with reality and what really matters. And back to how we were saying, we know everything going on in the world all the time, and we just shouldn't. There's no faith in things or people anymore.
Right.
So I just thought it was interesting, and I've really been working on getting closer with my faith the last couple of years. So this it seemed appropriate. It was kind of right on cue, and like, just don't idle false bullshit that is empty. Like, have purpose and meaning, and do things for a reason.
Right. And like you're a sum of your own thoughts, and like your mind and what you put into it, it is like, it's just crazy the amount of value you have left to provide to the world, and like how much you can grow yourself by putting thoughts. And we only have like 24 hours in a day, so like if you're focused on all this distractions going on around, like yes, like we need to pray for the people who are in trouble, and you want to pray for peace and pray for whatever. For sure. Whatever you pray about, like that's but like at the same time, like you do need to, like, what can I control, what can I not control, and on the things you can control, like you put productive thoughts in your mind. So it's crazy. It's one of the most underrated things that we talk about, but just the what you feed into your mind and what you choose to direct your attention at. Yeah. And there's things you can do to make it so that these distractions, you don't run into them on a daily basis. So. Yeah. I'm done watching the news. I mean, I like the news, like.
Yeah, no, it's whatever, but like. Yeah, it's straight up trash. Man.
I mean, positive things started happening in my life when I stopped watching the news. That's me. That's my own story, but whatever.
Yeah, it's madness. But yeah, I like how you brought up prayer. I think we need to pray more. I can always pray more. I try to pray about even simple stuff. If it's like something bothering you at work or life, just, hey, can you help me out with this a little bit? Like, it doesn't have to be some extravagant, like, priest-like prayer. Just talk.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Biblioteca.
Yeah, thank you for sharing
my
that.
Spanish. Yeah, I think that's Bible. Hope so. Great. Now
we'll have to fact check that.
Now I gotta look real quick.
Yeah, we can cut that out. I'm just kidding.
Biblia.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah.
All right. Tim, anything else for our phenomenal listeners today?
No, I'm good. Enjoy your week, people. Get out and enjoy the weather. Walk outside, get some vitamin D. It's the perfect week for it.
Yeah, and while you're on that walk, hop on that phone, give us a 5-star rating and review. We'd really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hit us up. Let us know topics, people that you'd like to hear on the show. Always enjoy hearing from our audience. Help make our show the best that we can for everyone. Thank you so much for hanging with us. And until next time, we're out of here. I want to do the intro right now.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Off the Dome Radio. We are back. The weather is nice. Birds are chirping. Hopefully, we have rounded into spring, but we'll find out. It is the Midwest. You never know. It might snow tomorrow after 65 today. But Tim and I get things rolling. We chop things up, talk a little business and life updates. I have some funny stories. Watched a new F1 series on Netflix. Big fan of that. And then talk about some new services I'm offering with my coaching business.